Okay, you see here our batteries are at 64%. Thought I'd try to do some real world testing of our three Battleborn batteries that we have. We're boondocking for the next 4 or 5 days maybe, and I'm just going to show you kind of stuff that we run and see if we can get by without running the generator very much. But first of all, let me show you the components that we have, so you kind of know what we're starting out with. Okay, so starting from the top, we have here we have three residential solar panels on the roof for this RV, and they both are rated at 225 watts apiece. So approximately 675 watts. You know how that goes. You never really see that kind of wattage coming out of them, but that's what it says in the book here. We've also got a 60 amp TriStar solar charger controller. We've got that bringing the power into the batteries. We have three of the Battleborn 100 amp hour batteries, giving us a total of 300 amp hours on board. Thus we got spec wise, we have my inverter is a Xantrex ProWatt 1000. So 1000 watt has worked out fine for us for all these years. For 8 years I think I've had this. So that's what we got for an inverter. Our converter charger is, what is this brand? This is the Progressive Dynamics IntelliPower, the PD9260C, pretty common in the RV industry, has worked really good for us. The original one was a Parallax, I think it's what it's called. The original ones came out in this Winnebago and it conked out, and I replaced it with this one here, and has done a good job for us. That's, like I said, it's 60 amps. The last little component I really like is this Bogart Trimetric, the TM2030. It's a great little device, so it keeps me updated with what's going on, what's coming and going. So anyway, where are we at? We're at down here in Florida at the Florida Flywheelers. What's the thing? Florida Flywheelers Show. A great place. They got the old John Deere tractors, steam engines, Poppin' Johns. Just a big giant trade show, a 4-day event. It's just right up my alley. All kinds of cool stuff like that. So when we pulled in here, because you can see right now it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. We got in here about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Of course, when we got here, it's 100% charged. And of course, this evening we had lights on, laptops, printed out some paperwork, did some office work. We even had our entertainment center on. We watched a movie for about 2 hours, had the TV going, the surround sound system on, because the surround sound system pulls quite a bit of power. In fact, this kind of surprised me as an experiment. We have our entertainment center all powered by 2 power strips. Because we got DVD players, surround sound, and DVRs and all this stuff, and the big screen TV. And I've got 2 power strips. I can reach quick and I can flip them both off to kill all the power. And I was surprised that even though everything was off, just the standby power was still pulling 40 watts. So that kind of surprised me there. So keep that in mind. Just because you have a TV off, your surround sound off, it's still pulling power. So if you can set them up on a power strip, flip those power strips off, that'll save you some wasted power. And on this, you can see here, because that's the percentage that's left out of our 300 amp hours. And this, where we going here? Because the battery bank 1 and 2. Okay, that's the watts. I like watching watts instead of amps because I'm more familiar with watts, because I know my solar panels, what wattage they are rated at, and what their possibility of what they're putting in versus what's coming out. So you can see our negative right now is 109 watts, and what I call what we're fixing to go to bed. So our sleep mode, I notice, will be about 80 watts when I turn out all these lights. The only thing they'll be running is, I think, we got a little sleep machine. It'll be running, making that constant noise, get some white noise. We've got, I'm going to leave this fan running for the night so it pulls some nice cool air in. And then back in the bedroom, I was wanting to show you, but my wife doesn't warn me. If I come back there with that camera, she's going to kill me. So we got one of those little 12-volt fans back there that's running, that's pulling nice cool air into the bedroom. So got 2 fans running and all that. So that's going to be drawing about 80 watts for the night. And then I'll come back and show you how it looks come morning. And because I think 300 amp hours is going to be plenty. I know I see people with crazy 5 or 6 of these Battleborn batteries. Of course, they're running air conditioners and doing stuff like that. I don't really care about that. If it's that stinking hot, I'm just going to fire up the generator, I think. So anyways, tune in tomorrow and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, a little update. Ain't went to bed yet. I've got all the lights out. This is sleep mode. We're pulling out about 75 watts through the night as we sleep. So we'll see what it looks like come morning. Of course, remember with these Battleborn batteries, I can pull this down. Let me see if I can find my button here. It's dark, dark, dark. Where's my button? There we go. So we still got 64%. So we can take it down to nearly zero and still have 12 volts. Unlike the old lead acid batteries we had, you have to be careful once we got about 50%. Then things started shutting down. And so I really like these Battleborns, so hopefully we'll have a good test over the next couple of days. There you go. Till tomorrow morning. Well, good morning. You see it's 10 o'clock and we're at now 58%. Don't know how low it got to, but we'll just see if by this evening if the sun can get us back up to 100. Oh, I forgot to point this out. Let me show you how much sunshine we're getting this morning. So with our two fans running, we're at and laptops plugged in and phones charging, we're plus 225 watts thereabouts that's coming in. So that's gonna go. So see, we got we got 675 watts on the roof, but we're only seeing 225 because I know a lot of that depends on the angle of the sun and all that stuff. So anyway, that's our numbers. We'll kind of watch it through the day to see if it gets better numbers as the sun gets higher up in the sky. Okay, a good example. The sun is right up above us here. It's not straight above us, but getting pretty close. And we got almost 400 watts. It was over 400 just a second ago because it's a little partly cloudy also. Clouds are coming and going. Let me see here. Whoops. Yeah, we're up to 66%. And we got 400 watts out of 675. That worked for us. So anyway, we'll see how it tops off, if it'll make it to 100 by the end of the day. Well, as you can see now, it's after 5 o'clock. The sun's beginning to set. It's been a kind of cloudy day, off and on, spotty sun. You can see we're only taking in 5 watts now, pretty minimal. And but the batteries did get up to 94%. That's pretty good. So but we got to do a little cooking, so we got to fire up the microwave. So we're gonna kick on the generator, and I'm gonna see how many watts goes thrown into it with the generator. Okay, generator running. We're kicking in 565 watts off the generator. Let's do another little test. Let's start the engine. Okay, generator is running. So I guess now what we got? Oh, must be 1,340 watts. I'm assuming. Is that what it's giving me? Okay, I had to stop and do a little calculation. So at this point, it looks like we're throwing in about 98 amps into the battery. So we're going to let the generator run just a little bit so we can get some cooking done, and we'll see how it does tonight. Alright, another update. Because I installed this device here, this LIBM, lithium-ion battery management system 225, it allows me to both throw amperage into my battery bank from my onboard generator, as also with the alternator off the engine. So that's why I started the engine too. And you can see here in just 20 minutes time, we've got the batteries back up to 99%. So it makes for a real nice quick charge, so you don't have to run your generator that long. Of course, if I had the generator only, I could only throw in a maximum of about 60 amps because I got a 60 amp charger on board. But with the combination of the generator and the engine, really makes for a quick charge. So anyways, we'll have it to 100% here in just a few minutes, and then we'll shut everything down. Well, okay, it's bedtime. This is night number 2. Batteries are 95%. Going to do something a little bit different tonight, because last night we just left like I said, we left the fan on up here in the ceiling in the living room, and the bedroom window open with another fan in front of it, blowing air across us, which we slept pretty good. But it was kind of, even though it was like in the 60s, it's Florida and it's humid air coming in. So tonight we had the generator running some, and I ran both air conditioners to pull the temperature down in the RV pretty good. So right now I think we're 77 here in the hallway. Bedroom's about 70 degrees. We're still going to run the little fan back there in the bedroom just to circulate some air and see how that works out for us, and try to keep the humidity out of the RV. And we'll see what our numbers look like tomorrow, and maybe tomorrow will be a sunnier day without as many clouds. Maybe we can get up to 100%. It was pretty close today, just didn't quite make it. Well, good morning, a little after about 9:30, second day. So we got good sun this morning. We're already peaking up here. When I woke up it was 83%, it's up to 84%. And of course the sun is still kind of low in the sky. Well, how many watts we got coming in? It's giving us in about 190 watts. But as the sun gets higher up in the sky, we know it'll get a lot better. I think what the max I've seen is about 400. And so it's a sunny day today. I suspect we'll get up to 100% pretty easy. But there's our numbers for day 2. Okay, end of day 2, 6 o'clock. So we made it to 100% actually a couple hours ago, and now we're at 99. Still got the fan pulling some cool air in, so that's working pretty well. Day 2 is over. Well, we still got the night to go through, but we're getting there. So this is morning of day 3. As we're getting a late start, but we heck fire. It's a sunny day. We already got the batteries up to 92%. So man, these battery borns are really working great for us. These 300 amps looks like it's going to be more than enough. Well, you can see here it's 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Sunday morning, where batteries are already back up to 87%. So that makes 5 nights we boondocked here and had really good performance out of these 3 Battleborn batteries. You know, like we have 300 amp hours with the solar panels on top. Of course, we've been lucky. We had sunshine every day. Some days were partly sunny, but it's all worked out great. So, of course, another thing that helps a little bit is having these shades. These are these blackout shades. You know, no night light can get through them at all. They're real thick. And I got a video somewhere where I had them, how I made them and how I put them up and stuff. It's an older video, but it has made a difference, I think. And up front, I got one of these. Of course, this is another contraption I made. It's on a video somewhere on the channel. So I use that, of course, when we're driving to drop it down, keep the sun on my eyes. You see this mesh? I got the mesh on the windshield. I think that helps keep the heat out the RV, because usually during the day we're sitting outside or running around doing other stuff, so we're not really inside the RV that much during the afternoon. But in the evening it can be warm. We'll come in here, maybe fire it up for about an hour or so, just to let the air conditioners run to cool the temperatures down in the RV, and then we hit the sack. Well, I want to show you this fan. This awesome fan, we use this thing, Endless Breeze. It's a 12-volt fan, so we keep that running all night long in the bedroom to keep the air circulated. So that's a good thing to have, because a lot of times we use it while we're driving too, just to keep air moving around in the cab area as we're driving down the road. What else I want to point out is this right here. Now this is when you're boondocking in the wintertime, this comes in handy. A lot of times when we're heading back to Kentucky from Florida, if we stop and sleep for the night, it may be 30-degree night or colder, and I don't necessarily want to run the propane all night long. With this heated mattress pad, and it's got the dual controls, because I'm cold natured, and the wife, I have mine on 7, she has hers on 1, but it doesn't really use that much power at all. It doesn't take much of a hit on the batteries, but does a great job. So we rarely turn on the propane furnace, because we use that to close the bedroom door, keeps us toasty warm. I've used that before. Got up in the morning and be like 55 degrees in the RV, but it doesn't matter. We're going to start up and get on the road anyways. So that's another little tip for you if you're going to be boondocking in the wintertime. And let's recap. It's like every one I kind of wrote down here, like 83%, 88, 88, 87. I hear my numbers there. So performance has been great, but like I said before, if you're starting out RVing, you might find it's getting more and more difficult all the time to locate a campground to plug up. So you may have to rely more and more on your batteries for boondocking. And the great thing with these lithium ions is their recharge rate. They just charge up so quickly, because you may have a whole lot of amp hours with lead acid, but how long is it going to take to get those lead acids fully charged again? Even if you don't have a solar system, if you starting out, just get you some batteries first, and because they charge up so quick, you just start like we do it. We start the generator and start the engine, and together, you know, I can pump in as much as 140 amps into the batteries. I'm just seeing what we got going in right now. Yeah, we see it's cloudy right now. There's no sun, so we're doing a negative 81 watts at the moment with the lights and stuff on. But anyways, I guess that'll wrap up my little boondocking test video here at the Florida Flywheeler Show for 2022. I thank y'all for watching and have a blessed day. See you, bye.